Welcome to Taco Bell. What would you like today?
So my team asked me not to call it explosive diarrhea. I'm going to, because that's what everyone is talking about. I mean, this is horrific. I want to put up the confirmed cases here of Cyclospora. It's all over the place. So I guess like help people understand, because people are scared, what they should be doing right now until we've purged it, you know, no pun intended, out of the food system.
Absolutely, yeah, this is quite scary. So what's different about this diarrheal illness is that it's caused by a parasite.
Yeah.
Most of the diarrheal illnesses that we see are caused by viruses, and the parasite cannot be washed off these greens or lettuce. So bagged lettuce is quite dangerous, bagged greens right now. It can be cooked off. So once
Okay, now that's different, because initially we were being told that it could be washed off. So if you were among the people who said, I'm not going to eat vegetables and fruit until this thing is sorted out, then you're ahead of the game.
you cook these vegetables, they are safe to eat. So if someone is experiencing diarrhea that's lasting more than 3 or 4 days, that's a sign to get seen, to get treated. Unfortunately, this can go on for weeks, kind of getting better and then getting worse again if you don't get treated. But the treatment is really simple. It's a common antibiotic that we use called Bactrim.
Okay.
So if you are sick, if you're having that cramping, that major diarrhea that's watery and really uncomfortable, that's a good reason to get seen by your doctor.
And you don't want to get it. We've seen some social media posts out there. I want to put these up for you, where people are just making fun of this and saying, hey, this is going to be my way to lose a couple more pounds out there. The one on the bottom here says just one diarrhea parasite away from my goal weight. But you don't want to go through this. This is absolutely horrific.
Can Taco Bell survive this? Listen, I want you to imagine you are a restaurateur. Now, if you are from West Baltimore, that means restaurant owner. And someone comes into your restaurant and they eat something and it makes them really, really sick. They contract this parasite. And then they go straight to the press to start detailing every painful, excruciating moment involving their contracting this illness from your restaurant. That has happened, actually. There is a gentleman, here he is, that said, hey, look, I ate the chalupa at Taco Bell, and here I am now. We'll hear more from him later. But first, okay, let's examine how a business can recover from this. Now, Taco Bell, they're getting slammed with this Cyclospora parasitic outbreak. And it's been linked to shredded lettuce. And, you know, they serve a lot of shredded lettuce. They're a giant brand, okay? They have deep pockets, massive PR teams. They have something else that is kind of ironic, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. But they've got crisis consultants to help clean up this mess, no pun intended. But what if this happened to your small business, okay? A bad batch of inventory, a terrible review goes viral, or a major safety lapse occurs. This could, you know, flush your dreams and aspirations away. All right, look, so what we want to do is break down how Taco Bell handled this lettuce debacle thus far and the exact steps a small business like yours needs to take in order to recover from a bad publicity strike. Now, one advantage that Taco Bell has is that people for decades now have kind of joked about, well, Taco Bell made me ill or whatever, you know. So that's kind of already out there in the culture. So I think that that's one advantage they have, is the notion that the quality of their food has not been the highest. Okay. All right. So look, another good lesson here is doing what they did. They acted immediately. Okay. So when health officials, when they came out and they say, hey, lettuce is the issue here, Taco Bell, to their credit, they did not wait around for the FDA to issue any formal orders. They pulled lettuce from affected regions right away, and they actually cut ties with their supplier, Taylor Farms. All right, look, so if your business drops the ball, let's say it's bad food, botched service, defective product, simply do not hesitate. Don't hide, don't try to avoid, uh, and hope that nobody will notice, right? Because hoping these types of issues disappear is a great way to guarantee that it actually will explode. So pull suspect inventory, okay, issue immediate refunds, all right, and handle it before the internet handles it for you. Because once it gets out there like that, you sort of lose control if you have not been proactive. All right, we'll get to lesson number 2 in a minute. Let's take a look at this article that did make it into the media. Okay, a Chicago man landed in the hospital after contracting the explosive diarrhea parasite, I just pronounced it, cyclosporiasis, from a popular Taco Bell menu item, and endured a week of stomach churning symptoms before doctors figured out what was wrong. Alonzo Zaragoza, 46, rushed to the emergency room last Wednesday after suffering relentless diarrhea for more than a week, he told NBC Chicago 5. It was just every hour and a half going to the washroom, Zaragoza said. I don't think I slept more than an hour and a half continuously in the last week. What does Zaragoza attribute this to? The chalupa seen here is the culprit. Look at that crunchy water, otherwise known as lettuce, on top of that. Don't you wish they served that thing and it actually looked like that? I haven't eaten at Taco Bell since my college days, so maybe it does look like that. I don't know. But the offending lettuce is there. Gentleman said he consumed that lettuce, and, now he's here, right? So look, if a customer like this one post a public nightmare story. Now, he did more than post. This is in the New York Post, okay? And it's made the rounds. So if someone does that about your business, do not jump into the comments arguing. Validate their experience. Show genuine empathy and explain the concrete steps you're going to take to fix the problem. If you fight back, you look cold, you look corporate, and you look guilty. So own it, fix it, and show you actually care about the recovery of the person. Okay. I would say that you might want to offer them some free merchandise at some point as well. You don't necessarily have to make that public. If they choose to take the high road and say, hey, look, I understand these things kind of happen. It certainly wasn't something that was comfortable, but they made it right. That kind of word of mouth goes a long way. All right, you got to also know your roots. Now, here's the thing. Taco Bell's workers didn't create the parasite in the kitchen, okay? It came from an outside farm. But do you think the customer cares whose fault it was at the farm level? No, he's not talking about the farm. He said, I bought the chalupa, right? They don't care about that. They bought the taco, the chalupa, the burrito, whatever the heck it is, from your food truck, okay? So as a small business owner, you're 100% responsible for whatever you put in front of your client.
Yeah!
Life is unpredictable.
Nice man Jackson down here at Top Gun Motors.
We can insure anyone.
For you. It's gonna totally take your breath away. Gonna send you right through the danger zone. Check me. I got a red car. I got black and red too. No money down. Ah!
Even him. Get approved. Link in the description.
Keep it rolling.
Vet your suppliers, audit your vendors, and always have a plan B supplier ready to go so you can swap out bad product in 24 hours without shutting down your doors. Now, folk can eat a chalupa without lettuce. Okay, this is not going to shut Taco Bell down. But something happening in the ground beef chain very well may. So the situation would look a lot different, right? So you have to take these things into account and make sure that whoever your suppliers are, especially if you're in the food industry, that you're not overly exposed and looking at being, having to close your doors because you can't offer a certain item. All right, look, so at the end of the day, surviving in business is not just about avoiding mistakes. Mistakes happen. We're human. Okay. It's about how fast and honorably you bounce back when things go completely off the rails, which is what has happened here. And Taco Bell being a big brand, they have absorbed a lot of the fire from this. But they will recover for the reasons I stated below. If something happens in your business, take a look at those steps we just talked about and handle it in an appropriate and honorable way. Talk to you soon.